Drone. We're actually all around this aircraft. We have optical avoidance systems, binocular camera vision on all sides, top, bottom, front, back, side, left, and right. Okay. These are going to be detecting objects about your thumb or larger. Okay. So when you're out flying in the field, it's going to detect trees, it's going to detect buildings, people, houses, and prevent you from running into them. Okay. It will not protect you against power lines or guy lines. If you're be flying over those thinner areas, they do make a centimeter wave radar, or millimeter wave radar that you can put on top of here. It's just a little unit, looks like a soda can, about that size, and it will send out. It'll pick up thin wires then instead, as it was an object. On the bottom, you can see the optical avoidance system cameras here and here. There are also ultrasonic sensors, so as it's landing, it's using ultrasound with the optical avoidance, and there's two cameras that will, LED cameras that will turn on in low light conditions automatically to assist with landing. There's also a beacon strobe on here. This complies with the new night vision flight rules, so it's 3.5 kilometer range on that. So you can turn this beacon on and off independently. On the top of the aircraft is the same thing. We have inspection cameras pointing up, or inspection lights that can point up. Light something, so if you're doing like an under bridge inspection or something like that, those can be turned on independently to help light your way, plus the obstacle avoidance cameras again, plus a beacon. On either side of here are USB plug-ins. There's a USB out and a USB in. So the USB out, you can put a power head on here if you have a third-party payload that takes power from the batteries. You can add that power head to it. Or if you have the radar plugged in here, you can plug the radar here into the USB-C right there and draw power for that. On this side is another one. On this side there's actually two. I can get it open. Oh, they're tight. Always have to revert to McCarthy.
And do the beacons turn on themselves?
You
have to take care of it.
You have to turn them on manually. They're off by default because they're very, very bright. If I turn them on in this room, you would see stars.
But flying it without them will be illegal?
No, you can fly without them.
Okay.
There are other navigation lights on the front and back.
Uh-huh.
Those are the ones you need. These are only for night flight, or if you're in a situation like we did yesterday, where we were flying near an airport. That part of the requirements with these beacons be turned on.
Okay.
So on the top here, there are two more USB ports. One is for power out. This is a standard USB-C in that you can plug your computer. So if you want to update the firmware, again, you can update the firmware from the controller via Wi-Fi, or you can plug this in with a cord for the computer and do it about the same speed. It actually takes just about as long. We may or may not have to update the firmware today. That's fine. I'd rather do it than not. Yes, you will need that number, by the way.
Wait, it doesn't scan it.
I don't know. That's your serial number. So when you go ahead to insure this and license it, which we're gonna have to license before we fly today as well. Somebody have the authority with credit card to license this drone with the FAA? I'm not kidding. We need to license this drone with the FAA before we go fly.
Yeah.
They cost $5. Somebody has to make an account. You don't have any other drones already, do you?
No, I don't have.
But you have your Part 107, so
Yeah.
you can make an account with the FAA. It costs $5. It's good for 3 years. We're just registering and making it legal. And then we have to take whatever number, the
Okay.
tail number, and put it on a sticker on the side
Yeah.
of the drone and identify.
Okay.
That makes us legal with the federal government.
Okay.
Rather than any of that.
Sure.
Takes like 5 minutes to do too. It's really easy.
Okay, we can do that.
You'll also really, honestly, you'll need to make sure you have some kind of liability insurance as well. Whether it's a rider onto the university's insurance, I'm sure there may be something there. Most of that, it's almost like vehicle insurance.
Sure.
And then as part of the sale, we've also provided your hull insurance for it. So there's DJI Care Refresh. If you do crash the drone, there's a deductible of like $2,000 to replace it instead of another 13 grand. So, or if you need repairs, break an arm. I had somebody close the case on the arm, broke the arm off. They sent it in. I don't think they paid any. It was below their deductible or whatever, or something. They just sent it in. They got it replaced. We do not service any of these at Siler yet. We're working on that. So if there's any service that needs to be done to this, you will go through, basically they have a single web page you fill out, and then shipping instructions, it gets shipped to California, and 7 days you get it returned, so the turnaround time is very quick. Okay,
So that information, do we have, is it like an information packet?
it's actually all in the controller. There's a complete manual